Tonight I'm going to share with you my mother-in-law's recipe for chop suey. When I make chop suey, one of the first things that I do is make rice. This is Nishki brand rice. This is the rice that my mother-in-law uses. It's a sushi rice, and it just has such a good texture and flavor. My husband and I were married about a year and a half, and I had always tried to make rice just like my mother-in-law, and I just could never get it right. Well, I was making just regular long grain and just white rice, and little did I know that that wasn't even the type of rice that she was using. So no wonder mine never tasted as good as hers did. But into my rice cooker, I've put 2 cups of the Nishki rice and then 3 cups of water. Just put the lid on my rice cooker, turn it on to cook, and in about 25 minutes I will have perfect rice. The next step that I do for in making chop suey is I just chop my vegetables. So I will chop about a cup of celery and a cup of carrots and a cup of onions. Now, if I have time the night before, I plan on having this, which is what I did in this video. I will chop my celery, carrots, and onions the night before, and I just put them in plastic bags, and that way when I get home, it's pretty much ready for me just to dump in the pot once I've browned my meat. The meat that I use is pork loin, and many times I will go ahead and have that chopped the night before as well, and I just cut it in small pieces. I like very lean meat, and in my chop suey, my husband likes the fatty part of the meat as well. So usually what I do is I will take the meat and I will cut off the fatty part, and I will cook that up separately for him. I'll fry that up first. Then I will, once that's cooked, I go ahead and just pull that out of the skillet, put it on a plate and a paper towel and let it drain, and then fry my pork loin, which I just like the leanest parts, and then I will go from there. And you can see here in this section of the video that I'm putting his meat in, and you will see that it is the fatty, more of the fatty trim of the pork loin. And here I am just sort of, it's been cut up the night before, so I've just dumped it out of the plastic bag and I'm just separating it. And again, this is the part of the meat that he likes. It has more of the actual fat in it. So I'll cook that first, and then I will move it to a plate and a paper towel and let it drain. And then after that, I will put my leaner meat in, and then my lean meat will stay in as I combine the rest of the recipe. So once the meat is browned, I add my onions, and I also add just about enough water to cover over the meat and the onions, and then that loosens whatever bits are on the bottom of the pan, and it helps to flavor it as well. So here I am, I've added my onions in, and now I'm getting ready to put my celery and carrots in as well. And during this part of the process, this is when I would, once I get those mixed up, I would cover that with water, just enough to cover the vegetables, put a lid on it, and let it cook for maybe 10 minutes or so, 10 or 20, just until the carrots and the onions are pretty firm. Then I add in 2 12-ounce cans of bamboo shoots, a 15-ounce can of bean sprouts, and water chestnuts as well. And this is the finished product. I didn't get to show you the steps of actually adding the bean sprouts and things in because my family came in and they were hungry and they were ready to eat. But this is the finished product, and I just serve it on rice. And then I like to top mine with some lo choy chow mein noodles, and it just makes a relatively quick and good dinner for a working night.